Okay. Hello all. Today is day 4. We are conducting the web application pen testing for web applications. Right. So we will talk about web applications security, how web applications are working in the backend, the architecture of web applications, and all. Right. First of all, I would like to tell you that what all the things we have done, and today is the second last day of this boot camp, and this was very nice to meet you all related to all these sessions. So on day one, we have covered the basics about cybersecurity and information security. We have learned a bit new things about how the things are approaching into the industry level and the real world examples, right? Then on the day two, we have learned about network security, what is network security, how it is exactly working for small organizations, large organizations, and medium organizations, right? And in last class, means yesterday class, day three, we have understood all about the security, right? Then today we are talking about day 4, which is web application pen testing, and we will little bit more about all of those. Okay, so this is the boot camp which we have organized to design a comprehensive overview of web application pen testing, including practical strategies and tools. So we will talk about the tools we are using in web applications, right? And how we are exactly securing the web applications, how the web applications are functioning, right? What is website and what is web application? There is a difference between these two. So we are going to talk about all of them. Then we will discuss about VAPT working in organizations, how the VAPT exactly working in organizations for web applications and all. If we are doing the web applications testing inside any organization or for the organization, whether we have any web application which is already running in our environment or any of the infrastructure if we have, right? Then this will be filled with live examples of web application testing and its functions, that how exactly we can do all of these things, right? There will be a huge things to be shown as per the tool, that how we are exactly doing it with the help of the tools, right? And what all the other things we are measuring into, how we are doing a DAS security testing and the SaaS security testing, all of them we will discuss about it. So this is the today's agenda on which we are going to talk about a little bit, right? Then I would like to start with first what is VAPT exactly, because I hope a few people are new into the security domain and they really want to learn all these things about VAPT, pen testing, what is web application is, and how it is exactly working, how we can go into it and all. Then at the last we will discuss about the roadmap, that how you can approach for the security testings and all for web applications, and the complete roadmap we will discuss, right? So VAPT is just like web application pen testing, right? And if I talk about particularly for a VAPT, not for web application and not for other ones, that just simply for the VAPT, that is like vulnerability assessment and pen testing, which means you need to identify the vulnerabilities over the website if you are working for any of the organizations or if you are working within the organization, right? Then pen testing means you are identifying the security issues and you are trying over the live websites for a particular organization that you need to find. This is called the complete testing over a application if you want to go ahead and do it within the infrastructure if we have deployed any of the web applications, right? Then VAPT is combined approach used to identify, evaluate, and address security vulnerabilities within the organization, within the IT infrastructure, including applications, networks, and systems. This is not just related to the web application. This is not just related to the mobile applications, not a mobile platform, not a network, not a system. This is a complete security testing which we are going to do, and the VAPT is for huge domains which we are talking about, right? So you need to identify the vulnerabilities within the applications, within the devices, within the networks, right? Within the systems we have deployed. Then there is a cloud security as well. If we are talking about, then you need to identify the cloud security vulnerabilities as well, right? Then Right now, particularly, we will talk about the web applications, a little bit about the network securities and the other systems if we are working into the particular organization for which we are testing the securities. That's it. Now, moving ahead, I would like to tell you that who exactly are working ethically for the organization, the testing part, if I say, right? Now that is somewhat like we have the type of hackers, those who are doing such type of things, but particularly those who are testing for any of the organization, and really they are reporting all these vulnerabilities and testing to the organization. That is like white hat hackers, right? That is like white hat hackers, and the white hat hackers are those who are working jointly with any of the organization, right? Secondly, if they are into the bug bounty huntings, right? So those guys who are interested and enthusiasts in cybersecurity, they will tell me that what exactly a bug bounty hunting. Okay, but here if I tell you that the white hat hackers are majorly people those who are working within the organizations, and they are testing the security levels, security measures to the organization. Apart from this, the bug hunters, they are a freelance people, those who are testing the web applications and reporting it to the particular organization, right? So this is the difference between these two. Apart from this, we have black hat hackers and we have gray hat hackers, but black hat hackers are not just testing the websites, they are not doing any such type of testing, they are not going to any web applications, and they are identifying the security flows and all. No, they are not doing such type of jobs, they are just identifying. Once they have identified these particular issues on a particular website, right, then they are just attacking over it. They are taking the advantage of that particular vulnerability if they have identified or there is a flaw. Okay, so and now after that, if I talk about the gray hat hackers, and they, which we call them as the script kiddies. Okay, so script kiddies are, they are just copy pasting all the measures, right? They are copy pasting that how to how to do a particular attack on a web applications, right? And whether it is a mobile application, how to hack all of those. They are just getting a code from someone, right? And they are just copy pasting the same code and they are running all of those. They do not know about anything about the testings and anything about the VAPT, anything about all the security measures. They are just copy pasting all the tools, all the technologies, methodologies, and they are just going ahead and pasting all of these codes and hacking. So these are the three type of hackers which are working really. But we are talking about the white hat hackers, which are the good hackers, if I say, right? Then this is why VAPT is important. Okay, then this is a comprehensive security assessment, risk management, and compliance on which we are working on. Then here you will, if you will be able to see then what exactly would be the first step if we are going to do planning and reconnaissance. Then we are doing the scannings. Then we are doing the gaining access, maintaining access, and analysis. This is just the 5 phases in which we are doing the testings, right? So these are the first thing which you need to do as a reconnaissance, right? So reconnaissance, if I talk about in a layman term, that is like you are doing information gathering on one of the application if you have already set the target, right? Or if you have already have a target, right? Like the organization is giving you the target, which means a website or a web application. So the target is set, right? But this is just for a white hat hackers. But if I talk about on the perspective of black hat hackers, right, then they are identifying a target, just like if they want to go ahead, okay, and they have identified one of the target, which is like automobile industries, right, the petroleum industries. If they have identified in the latest trends, whatever I have seen in the latest trend is like the ransomware is going on for the most of the banking websites, right? Or they are also targeting the banking and financial institutions to make sure that there is a flow and they can target all of them. And the ransomware is on the peak. So how we can enable this ransomware within the systems of banking and finances? So this is a very important part. So I must say that reconnaissance, planning and reconnaissance is the main part if you are doing any type of security testing or if you are identifying a target, right? So if you guys have remember, then we talked about the showdown in last to last class, right? Then we have talked about some of the Google docking as well. So I can show you once again, there is no problem. Let me, those guys who are new into this, so I would like to tell you that what exactly I was talking about. That is like Google Document, right? Then we have the no, this is not. Exploit the PI no from Google. Now I have identified that what is that exploit DB. Most of the time I forget these type of, yeah. So here on your screens that you can see that this is the exploit database which we were talking about previously. Okay, so this is very much helpful to identify the target, to know more about the target. And if I talk about apart from this exploit DB, then the Google is the best source to identify the target, okay, and get more information about the target within the systems, right? So there are two type of reckonings, which means active reckonings and the passive reckonings. Okay, the active reckonings means you are including the target, in the sense, first thing, I will give you the example, just like the port scanning. If you are doing right, yesterday I showed that how we are doing the port scanning with the help of nmap and all, that how we are identifying the DNS server mx. So this is like active reckonings, okay, which we were doing. Then the port scanning, which I show you with the help of nessus scan, right, in the last session, day 3. So that is again a part of active reckonings, where I am attaching the target. Okay, I am also, I already know the target. Okay, I identified the IP addresses. I already told you that how you can do all this type of jobs, right? Then again, you have to move ahead, and this is called a active reckonings. Then if I talk about the passive reckonings, which is somewhat like you are not including the target. Okay, then uh, then this is also like the passive reckonings is like you are not including any of your target directly, which means you are gathering the information indirectly, right? Indirectly in the sense you are just knowing that who all the working in this, who is the CEO of this company, right? How many members they have, how many employees they have, what are their product size, what all these type of details they are already gathering. Okay, but I would like to tell you one more interesting thing, that how you can exactly find the IP address of any web applications. So this is new, and this is exactly we are doing in the reckoning. So if you want to identify the IP address, and if you want to get decide the target, okay, then how you will identify the IP address of that particular web applications. Okay, why? Because here in the URL you can see up here, you cannot see any type of IP addresses, right? You can only see the DNS name over here, and with the help of this, it is very much useful that we can remember the names of the website. But with the help of the IP addresses, we cannot do such type of jobs, right? So if you want to do, then how we can do it? That is very much simple. There is a tool called online tool, which is called IP Void. Okay, and this is we are really using within the organizations to identify the IP address of any of the websites. So you can go ahead. I can zoom it out a little bit. Yeah. So this is find website IP. You just need to paste it up here. Search. I think the website is slow. No problem. I can do this. Okay, so this is the IP addresses which you have identified, and this is Cloud Proxy 10013 secure.net. So it has already identified the IP address for you guys. Okay, so this is how we are exactly working on identification of IP addresses for any of the websites, so that we can target it easily, right? And whatever the things we can do over our website, so we can easily do it. There is no issues in that, right? This is the live example that what exactly we are doing. Okay, then if I talk about the scanning, then the same thing. Yesterday we have talked about the scanning, necessary scanning, then the port scanning. Then with the help of NS lookup, we can do the scannings for any of the website. If you have the URL, you can do. If you have the IP addresses, you can do. There is no issues in that, right? Then we have gaining the access. Okay, so once we have got the access of any of the web applications for any of the websites, right, or any of the database if we have got, then we can do whatever we want to do, right? If we want to do a data breach, then they can also do the data breaches as well. If we want to put any of the malware or any of the malicious programs, any of the malicious script within the host or within the web application, we can do all of those type of things as well. But this totally depends that what exactly we want to do. Okay, I can give you the example again with the help of the architecture. So might be possible you guys will understand in a more classical way. Right? Suppose this is an attacker. Okay, what? This is the system of an attacker, or this is, you can say, the attacker might be, right? And this is one of the application. I am not taking the name of any of the application. Just say that XYZ company. Okay, this is the application for that XYZ company. This is a web application or a website, you can say, right? Now attacker is attacking on this particular website. Okay, now they are identifying any of the flaws, and once they have, so there are different type of attacks they can launch. One attack, if I say that DOS or DDoS attack, they can launch, right? Denial of service or and distributed denial of service they can launch. How they can launch is basically once they have identified the IP addresses, which we just did for the exploit DB, how they can identify the IP addresses. Now that IP address is already public, that is a public IP address, not a private IP address, right? Then they can launch the DDoS attack from their system or with the help of the bot, which we talked about in last sessions, right? Then with the help of this, they can simply target the website and they can make it down. This is a one thing, but this is not sure that this using the best load balancers policies, and they have firewalls and they have rules and policies over the WAF web application firewall. Then they will not be able to do so, right? Second, what they will do is they will work on SQL injection. I'm not going over there again for SQL injection. How we can do it, you guys already know about it, right? So you can go ahead with this. Then if they have identified the XSS vulnerability over a website, right, so they can do for that one as well. If they have done for the session hijacking, right, in moving forward we will talk about session hijacking and how we can do it for those as well, right? If they have identified the session hijacking, then they can do for this one as well. Broken authentication in they can also do, right? This is how they are exactly targeting the website. So before targeting, before launching any of the attack over a website, first they design, okay, reconnaissance they will do, and they will set a target after that. Then they will design the attack. What we gonna do as per the target? If it is a banking and financial institute, then they are running the ransomware, they are putting the malicious script. And if they identified the SQL injection or somewhat, they have identified that there is a huge user database, then they will breach it out, right? So this is totally depends on what type of target you are setting and what type of data they have and what you want to do with them, right? So this is based on those side of things. This was one about web application. This is also not about web application. Basically, this is about BAPT, how exactly we are doing, okay, and how attackers are exactly targeting all of this. Okay, so please write the comment if it is clear, or if you have any doubt, please write in the chat. So I will try to answer it all. Right. Then moving ahead, we have fundamentals of vulnerability assessment. There is a thing which we need to understand. First, if we are working on vulnerability assessment or we are doing for pen test, right? Vulnerability assessment is just like there is an objective for that. Okay. Identify and access vulnerabilities in a system, application, or a network, right? How we can do this with the help of NS lookup, we can do. Okay. Then yesterday I provided, so that again you can do, right? Apart from this, one more tool is there, which is Nmap. Okay, with the help of that, you can identify for the networks, right? Network scanning you can do. Then you can identify for the One more tool we have identified, which was Wireshark. On the basis of that, you can also do to at what type of communications they are doing within the organization. So this is how we can identify all these type of threats over the networks and other systems as well as organizations, right? Then there is a different focus on vulnerability assessment, that is like dedication, documentation of the vulnerabilities, right? Once you have detected the vulnerability, then you need to document it. Document in the sense you need to design the flaw. Okay, first you have identified the target. Okay, I want to target this. Okay, then after that, what you want to do? Okay, this is what you want to do. I will do this. I will do this. How I will do this? This is a problem. Okay, so they are designing these type of diagrams as well, that if I'm running a particular attack and it is not happening, then there will be a plan B which I can do. Okay, so this is not a one day job, this is not a 1 week job. Again, this will take around 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, according to the target which you have set, right? If it is a large organization or a large target, then they must be using an advanced level of security tools, right? EDR they must be using, XDR they must be using, SIM tools they must be using for detections. Okay, the SIM tools, the SolarWind which I told you, that is for the detections as well, right? So these type of areas we need to focus on, right? Then there is automated scanning as well, using tools to scan systems for known vulnerabilities. We have type of tools as well. Qualys we can use, OpenVS we can use. Then we can use IBM QVM as well. So these are the scanning tools which we can use. But Nessus Enterprise was the free one which we can use, and there are what will be the output? Then you need to create the reports, identify of the vulnerabilities. Often this will be a risk taking, which means what is the score of that vulnerability, how you can do it, the recommendations if you have, then what is the remediation, what is the mitigations, right? Till the time if you have not identified the mitigations, then what is the next thing you can do to make it possible that nobody else will take the advantage of this one. Okay, so this is called vulnerability assessment, and these are the components of vulnerability assessment. So moving ahead with any of the tool, moving ahead that to how we are doing exact things, the pen testing, you have to understand that the basics of vulnerability and pen testing. Okay, this is very much important, right? Then if I talk about pen testing, that is just like there is a separate objective of pen testing, which is, I would like to say, that is simulate real world attacks to exploit the vulnerabilities if you have identified one. It doesn't mean that if you have identified the low priority vulnerabilities, if you have identified high priority or a critical priority, it doesn't matter. Once you have identified the vulnerability, then how you can make the advantage of that vulnerability which you have identified. Okay, then you have to identify that what would be the impact to that particular target for which you have identified a vulnerability. Okay, I must say there is a note for you. This is not again not a case, right? If they are using advanced level of tools, then this is not again not a one day job to identify the vulnerabilities. This is again not a case, right? If they are using advanced level of tools, then might be possible it will take time to identify the vulnerabilities. After identification, it will take time to design the attack, right? So this is the things which exactly we are focusing on vulnerability assessment and pen testing. And this is not I'm just saying to you guys, okay, this is exactly the industry standards are following if you are working for an organizations, okay, or if you are working in the bug bounty, that is totally different for you, right? Then there will be a focusing area which is just like testing and do the verifications that if you have identified the vulnerability, that would really be a thing to attack for. Okay, on which system it has, right? So I can tell you one more thing. I can show you with an architecture what exactly I'm trying to show, and how exactly the attackers are moving ahead with the particular pen testing, if you have, or if I talk about one of the systems within the organization. So I will give you the example with the help of the boss. There is a saying in security industry, if you are working in web applications and pen testing or vulnerability assessments, if you are doing, then you have to understand that there is a saying in security industry, think, if you want to secure your systems, right, then you have to think about the attackers, right? So that is why I am telling you the examples as per the black hat hackers, how they are exactly targeting and setting up the targets. Okay, then the first thing is, suppose again the cliche thing, which is the attacker, the system of an attacker, right? Then there is a web application if I have, okay, or I can say that this is the server. Okay, let's take it as a server. Okay, one system is there, the endpoint, which we can say this is a logical term which we are using in the industry, which is called the endpoint. Okay, one of the system, that suppose this is a Windows system, no issues with that. Now this is connected, or the resources with the servers, and these are the servers which are connected with the organizational networks. Okay, now this particular user has identified, and one more thing, this is the zombie system. Okay, zombie system is just like, we are not using this system for much. Even we have not applied any security system for this particular endpoints and all, right? But again, this is for the networks. We create internet of the this organization, and anybody can access this PC from outside as well. This is the flaw which they have identified. For an example, now this attacker was scanning the network. Somehow they have identified the public facing PC or something else. If they have identified a virtual machine, if it is facing right, then over this PC they have identified, okay, this port is open, the port number is working on it for remote communications, right? Now once they have identified this, then this is the zombie PC. So they have identified, okay, so this is correctly open for us. Okay, so we can simply mark, okay, once they have went into this network, so they will scan the network with the host discovery. Okay, or the second command they can run as net discover. Okay, network discover. Okay, once they will do it, they will identify, okay, this is the server name which we are doing. They will run an NS lookup on this particular PC, so they will get all the details about the other system which are present or which are connected with this particular endpoint. Okay, now they will get the access of this. They will scan it, or once, if they are not scanning it, or if they are not scanning it, there is no issues. Still, they will be able to run any of the malicious scripts, right, on this PC. This PC automatically spread all the malicious scripts over these particular endpoints and all. And this is how they will take the advantage of this particular endpoint, which was a zombie PC, and that would be successful. But the thing is, again, what I was telling you, the main focus is this particular thing which I told you right now, as per the attacker perspective. This is the only thing which will take time. How smoothly, I told you, that is not a case, right? But this is the particular design and making will take up a huge time to identify the vulnerability, number and all. Now where they will be able to do so, and this is the security center team, which is the next topic for us. Okay, this is a security center team. Okay, once they have identified, okay, somebody is doing the port scanning on my system. Okay, so they will simply block the outside IP of this particular host. Okay, so that is why attackers are using multiple level of proxies, free proxies, or the paid proxies. They are using paid software, they are using paid VPN, or they are using the dark web, something else, whatever the things are they are doing, right? So security team is regularly blocking the IP addresses in their systems, right? This is a one thing. Second, they have the EDRs, they have the XDR tool, so which is getting the detections on from this PC, right? Then they are working over it. But there is a case, just like suppose they do not have the access about the vulnerabilities. Now the attacker has identified the vulnerabilities after doing the 1 month or 3 day jobs, right? Then there could be a possible reason they can attack it and they can gain the access of this particular zombie PC. No, no case that they won't be able to do so. If they are, if this target is favorite enough, then they must be able to gain the access, right? So if you have any doubt in this diagram, or if there is something you have not understood as per the perspective of the black hat hackers, then please let me know in the comments. Okay, then this was it. This was the for the pen testing. Now come to this one. Okay, now this one is just like you can say one of the systems which they have designed. Okay, and how exactly we are determining the assets within the organization. So just I would like to take an option. Okay, now this is how determine the critical assets over there. Well, fun thing. So I already told you that how you will gain the access about it. Okay, then what all the things you need to do, the tools we have already discussed, right? So I'm not going to discuss those tools again, right, for you. Okay, one thing is done. Then they will go ahead with conduct vulnerability assessment, which is the crucial part for any of the organizations, right? Just like we are doing a security testing, the vulnerability CSP, if we have found common vulnerability exposures, teams we have found, but there is a catch here. I would like to tell you as per the security, right? Suppose you are working for an organization. Just an example, you are working for an organization, right? Now you are working on vulnerability assessment and one security flaw you have identified, and you are running the scans, regular scans over a system, right? Then after running the scan, you have identified, okay, there is a problem on my system. There is a Windows system, and there is a problem within my systems, right? Windows team knows, the security operation team knows, right? And you are already started working to patch this particular vulnerability, right? And you took around 1 day, 2 day, 3 day. Okay, this is the genuine example which I'm giving you. There is not always a security flow, or I can say there is system flow. No, there might be a possible that attack has been happened just because of the human error. Okay, so these are the genuine things. So once they have not identified the vulnerabilities, right, then they are not even conducting the regular assessments. Then after identification, they are doing such type of jobs. Now what will happen is that is very much simple. So attacker will come. This is the attacker, I must say. Then again the cliche diagram. Okay, so attacker will come, and this one is scanning. Okay, once they have scanned with the help of NASA's or the enterprise, whatever it is, right? So they have identified the CVE, okay, the critical vulnerability exposure, which we talked yesterday. Okay, so there is a CVE. So attacker will go and search, do a reconnaissance, do a search that how I can exploit this CVE which is present on their systems, right? The security teams are doing their job, but it took around 1 day or 2 days. Somehow it took, right? Then security operations team has also has an eye on this, but somehow they identified, okay, this is the CVE they have, right? And this is the particular CVE. Then they will fetch a report about this particular CVE, what is that about, and how I can gain the access and how I can exploit this particular CVE for my benefit. Okay, the attacker benefit basically. So they will do it, and they will simply go and attack on this particular endpoint, and this is the case which they will do, right? This is what exactly we will do on this case, right? Then they will move ahead. Now I'm not talking about on the basis of this one vulnerability assessment, but whereas I'm talking about now uh, this one, right? Vulnerability analysis and risk assessment. Now after that we will do, okay, what is the risk for this vulnerability? If it is high, medium, critical, or low, right? The scorecard we have discussed yesterday, right? And how we can patch it, that is again we have discussed yesterday, right? So this is what the exact things are working around. Then will be a case for remediation. Then we are moving ahead with the remediation till the time somebody has identified the CVE. Okay, then we can simply get the access of it, right? Okay, so somebody has asked the question how to bypass the firewall if not give the access. Okay, so here I cannot tell you that how to bypass the firewall. This is not practical as per the compliance, right? But I can tell you that everything is working on the basis of vulnerabilities. Okay, now if they are doing the nmap scan, for port scan they are using, right? So if they are using the nmap scan or ns lookup scan, which we have identified yesterday, right? So in yesterday's class, if you go and see, right? Then there was a problem within a what to say, there was a timeout for a time being, right? So what was that? Because firewall was not able to pass that particular date, but somehow we have tried so many times. Then the firewall was again talking about that the same thing, and we got the access for that, and we got the results for that particular command. So this is just like a hit and trial game. Okay. Second thing for the firewalls are, that is somewhat like they will give you the filter option for you. Once whenever you are going ahead and scanning the networks with the help of that particular tool, then they will give you a filter option. Filter means there is a firewall which is there, okay, which is stopping your traffic to be there within the organization or inside the organizations. All right. So again, if they have got a firewall here, suppose within the network, this is not a case, they will be getting the firewall, this is not a case, then they will scan for the firewalls, if what type of firewall it is, then this is again a problem for network security team. Okay. Why? Because once they have identified the vulnerabilities or the policies are not working, or the what to say, this is what we are focusing, right? So that is the case, that is the exact case which we are doing, and this is how there is not a thing that to bypass a firewall, but surely we can vulnerable, we can find the vulnerabilities over a firewall, we can find the vulnerabilities over there, or there will be a loophole apart from vulnerabilities. If we identify, then we can surely do this. Okay, so sorry for that, I cannot tell you that how we can bypass this, but again this is compliance. Okay, so this was it. If you have any issues, then please ask me, or if you have any doubt, then please ask me. Okay, so pen testing is like the same thing which I told you. The pen testing is what exactly it is, the method, the evolution which we are doing over there. Okay, and the security system, network applications by simulation, real world attacks if we are doing over there, right? So this is the exact thing I'm not doing again over there, right? But I must talk about the burp suit now. There is different type of attendance tools which we already talked about, Shodan and Google Document. These two are the best tools which the attackers are using. Okay, then if you are using this Shodan and if you are using this Google Docking, then these things are really very much helpful. Third thing, which is already we know, which is a Google. So Google is the best search engine to search for all of the recommendations and do the recommendations, right? Then there is a scanning tool just like Nmap and Nessus, which we used yesterday. Okay, there is a NS lookup as well, which is again a scanning tool which we are using to identify all the details about the vulnerabilities, or how we can scan the network and how they are communicating with each other. So that is has already been done. Exploitation, we are going to work on burp suit, what exactly burp suit is looking, and what we can do over a burp suit, right? Then if I talk about social engineering is again a type of recognition. If you are gaining the details about how much employees are using are working over there, then you are sending a phishing email to them, and this is how you can make a target, and you are identifying all the things about that particular user. I can give you the example related to the social engineering, right? So that is like I how I can tell this. That is somewhat like okay. So that is like there is a user, okay, within the organization, right? Now attacker is identifying that what is the target and what target does, which means the industry of that particular target. Suppose the target is a banking uh, organization or the financial organization, just suppose. Okay, now they will identify, okay, so how they will gain the uh, idea about how, which type of people are working, what is the name that of person, okay, and at which area, or just a common technique which they are following. You guys already know, this is LinkedIn. Okay, whenever they are going to the LinkedIn, LinkedIn. Okay, then they are identifying, okay, this is the person who is a manager over there, who is lead over there. So whatever the all the possible techniques over there, they will identify, okay, this guy is working in this company and we have the same target. So they will get a list out of the employees from that particular social media, right? Then after that, they will get an idea about, okay, so this is the thing which we have. First thing. Second thing, that is just like over the web applications. If I talk about the website, the organization website, so you must the email addresses which are given for CEO or the other companies, the analysts, the partners. If they have identified, then there will be a different type of emails they have already given. So from that they can get the data. So this technique, this different technique, call it as data gathering. Okay, so this is called data gathering. This is again a part of a web pen testing if the attacker is doing. Okay, so all the things I'm telling you on the basis of attacker, the black hat hackers. Okay, if what type of things they are doing, automatically you will understand that what type of measures you need to take, right? On the basis of this, the social engineering is work. Okay, so this is the thing. Then we have post exploitation tools, which is called Cobalt Strikes or Fire. So on the basis of this, we are again working on post exploitation. Is like we are sending the backdoor. So this could be a manual job as well to identify. Once you get the access, then you are putting the backdoor, so that once you come afterwards, then you can again gain the access. So you do not have to do all the jobs again and again. You are bring over there, right? Now I was talking about the burp suit. Now burp suit is the very interesting tool. Wait, let me start it. Burp suit I have. Okay, so this is the community edition which I have. Right, I downloaded it from Portswigger website. Right, you can also download it. This is free, but some of the features are there and some of the features are not. Right. Okay, so here on your screens for you guys, I need to set up. This is start. Okay, now it is started, and here you can see the system over there. Doing it. I'm going to make it large, but this tool has this particular functionality, right? Enlarge proxy. Okay, here you can see over there. Here is in the proxy. Now the interceptor is off. Interceptor is means just like this will intercept all the traffic, right? From one browser. This will create a proxy, and that proxy will simply intercept all the traffic within the uh, the bug suit. Okay. Yeah, so people are saying no need, it works in Kali too. Yeah, okay, this is also working in Kali, but I am using the Windows system, so that is why I downloaded it for you guys, right? So interception is on, so everybody knows that what is interception. So those guys who are already working in Bugsuit, they can tell me that what exactly the interception is. Okay, so proxies has already been set up by the Bugsuit. I'm not going to do is okay. So this is what. Then we have the WebSockets, HTTP proxy, intercept. Now I will open the browser. Right, it is opening. So now on your screens, the browser is open. Okay, whatever I will type up here, it will catch all of this. Okay, so this is intercepting it. Here you can see that what is the thing I wrote here. Google. I'm using the proxy. That is why it is taking much time to load the Google. Okay, but the thing is, I already got the idea over here. Okay, so I will just give you the example that how exactly it is intersecting. So it is intercepting all the requests which is working in the backend, right? Just like a thing, whatever the things are working in the backend, so it is intercepting all of those, which means it is gaining the access. Okay, then if I'm clicking over here, then this will give you exact what all the things which are moving ahead in the backend. Okay, just in a layman term, I would like to tell you those guys who do not know. I would like to tell you those. So here you can see what type of things it is doing over here. Okay, so inside the URL you can easily have an idea. Okay, so I write the google.com, so it already gathered the google.com. It intercepted all the requests which is moving ahead from your browser to the server and from the server to your browser. Okay, this is that case. So whatever the request it is taking, it is intercepted towards the bub soup. So you can see the exact idea. What type of thing it is using. This is a get method. Okay, there are some type of HTTP methods they are using, right? So on this, it is like get method, which is just like everything, whatever the things you are typing, they are going into the get method within the URL, and that thing will be pasted over a server. But if it is a post, get here, if there will be a post, okay, then what would happen? That will be simple, like there won't be any such type of issues, which you can see all the requests which you are sending will be able to see in the URL, right? So this is the difference between get method and post method. These are the HTTP request methods. Okay, so here you can see that where it is sending, this is Google. Again, this what exact key they have exchanged. Okay, the source ID is Chrome. I am using the Chrome. Here on your screens that you are use, I am using the Chrome. Okay, then this is the cookie. Okay, this is the cookie ID which it is creating. There is no session created, which means I'm not logging into somewhere or these type of jobs I'm doing. Otherwise, you can also see the sessions key as well. There is a session ID, separate session ID. Session will be created here, and you will see it. What type of user agent I am using? So here you can see this will give you the exact versions and all. This is right. Then what exactly this is doing and where it is going. So here you can see all. Okay, then this is giving you exact idea what exactly they are doing. Again, this is the deepest one which you can give up here. Okay, so this is giving you the exact jobs. See, Windows 64 I am using. What is this? Okay, insecure request. So you can see like the servers which are gaining your requests from which you are sending. If you are using the Google, then you can identify which type of request and which type of data they are gathering from your PC, right? So this is how you can see that what type of data they are receiving from your PC whenever you are accessing any type of website, right? So this is the thing. These are the request attributes which they are using. Method get, path search. Path search in the sense, here I have written the Google. So this is showing that path where you have written is search. Request cookies. Okay, so this is an encryption where they have request. Then requested headers, host cookies, user agent, whether it is accepted or not, whether it is working or not, what is the priority. Connection is keep alive, which means session has been established, and this is a keep alive session. So it is not going to, right? If I'm writing something else, if I'm clicking over here, then this will simply mark it as a these things. So this is a burp suite from where we can intercept all the traffic, what exactly they are going to do, okay, and how exactly they are doing, right? But this is the things which we are really working on, right? So this is what we have. Okay. Hmm. Right. So this is what worksuit can do. Okay. And these are the requests which they are offering. Now I am seeing up here the post. Okay, so this is the post which I was talking about. There it was sending us the get request, this one, but this is again a post request which the proxy is getting from my local host. Okay, so whatever I am working into, they are giving into the post HTTP methods. Right, so this is what I was doing. Okay, and this is all about burp suite for which we are using for web application securities. And if we have identified the flaws and how the things are working in the backend, so we are using the burp suites and all. Right, you can go on port trigger, right, and you can identify more functionalities which the free version is not giving to us. Okay, so those things you can simply go and identify. Okay, if you have any questions related to this burp suite, you can simply ask me in the comment section. Now we have web application security. Some of the things I wanted to show you. Okay, one of the things I wanted to show you guys, which is very much interesting. Okay, but before that, I would like to talk about the challenges which we are facing while doing such type of jobs. So this is one of the component which are complex environment in which we are working. Okay, so there could be a large environment. The complex environment we are getting may present the challenges for us within the asset, right? So we have so many assets and we have to identify that how exactly they are working into. Okay, and discovery of the asset. This is the things. This is the challenges or considerations which we need to follow while doing the testing. The security test. Process may affect the depth and frequencies of vulnerability assessments. Okay, if you have less resources, you have less tools, right? Again, you have less knowledge. Okay, so this can affect the depth and frequency of the vulnerability assessment. Okay, integration with other security practices is also there, which is like vulnerability assessment, which means if you have deploying any security, so you have to do all the practices before make it live. Okay, integration with other security practices is also there, which is like vulnerability assessment. Okay, so these all the testing you have to do before make anything or applications, mobile application, mobile. You have to do these security measures before, right? Then, if I talk about type of pen testings, if we have, this is one web application which we are going ahead and we will be talking about one of the vulnerabilities again. But before I as a network pen testing, we have for which we have done the NS lookers and NSS security. These were the one part which we have done. Okay, there is a lot more into the networks. Then we have web application which we are going to talk about for few vulnerabilities, right? Then there is mobile application testing. Then we have mobile testing, the cloud testing, physical pen testing. If we have anything physical, the servers, we can test it. So these type of things we can do. Okay. Now I will talk about the iframe vulnerability. How exactly the iframe vulnerability is working. But before that, I would like to tell you the web application architecture over there. Web applications, how exactly they are working, what all the things we have on the place. Okay, so this is the web server. We need to deploy a web server. You guys already know. If you are working on web applications and you want to deploy a web servers, websites, or if you need to deploy these, then you must get the web server. Okay, then the web server's app makes direct request to the server. This is how it will send it towards this service worker act as a network proxy for the application, right? So this is what it is sending the data towards this. Then standard web applications with progressive enhancement we have to do. This is the web applications which you're going to deploy. Alongside it will work over here. This one service worker caching. Okay, so service worker work with the caches where the websites have been stored. So you can tell me that how in the comment section you can tell me that how we can gain the request getting the websites loaded very fast, right? So that is related to the cache. Getting the websites loaded very fast, right? So that is related to the cache. Please ping your comments in the comment section. Right. This is a service worker, and this is what exactly the things are working in the backend. If you guys do not know, over the web browser, these things you can see. Standard web application and the progressive enhancement is working in the backend of your PC, which is handling all of things. All right. So this is the thing which we have. Okay. Now let me know if you have any questions or concerns about this particular topic. Okay. So this is the vulnerability which I am going to tell you about, which is a iframe vulnerability. What to do is we need to go over here. Okay, so this is the thing which we have, the iframe vulnerability. Okay. First of all, I would like to tell something about iframe vulnerability. This is like you can say that there is a formal name of this iframe vulnerability is cross-frame scripting, which is XFS. So this is an attack that combines the malicious JavaScript with the iframe, okay, that loads a legitimate page in an effort to steal the data. Okay, if a particular web application has this particular vulnerability, then you can simply copy and paste it in a layman. Okay, so in a layman term, this is the case. Now here you can identify that this is the iframe vulnerability which you can see up here. I wrote up. So this is how we are writing. This is the one thing. This is just a syntax I have written over here. Now I would like to tell you that how we are exactly doing it. But before, whatever the pages you can see up here, right? Just like Altoro Mutual. Okay, this is the page which you can see up here. Okay, now here you can see. Suppose this is Altoro Mutual. Okay, I can tell you that if I am doing okay, the username and password. Right. So if there is a iframe vulnerability, so it will copy paste exactly the same website for you. So you can simply resize that particular website and you can send it to. Now, first I will tell you that how exactly we can do the iframe. Then I will tell you the consequences of string. There will be a string. So I'm writing the HTML code there. If somebody knows, then they will be know that what exactly this will be. Okay. Okay. So till the time you guys can tell me how many of you have worked on HTML and you guys are already understanding that what exactly and what is the syntax I'm trying to write up here. This. Then I'm closing the iframe. IFrame source. This is the website. Streaming. Okay. This is perfect. Now I'm saving it. Saving where? Saving. Now how to save it? This is again a idea. Okay. So I can say this Altoro mutual. Okay. Save it into HTML in the form of HTML and take it as all files. Then save. It is saved, right? Now what I will do is I will simply open this file, okay, and I will run it. Simply I will run it. Then, okay, copy, one, yeah. I have written the again. This will create okay. I think this website does not have the IFrame vulnerability. No. Uh, this this has no vulnerability as an iframe, but for an example I can tell you, okay, the second website I can take, I have two options. Let's try it. Site if they have the vulnerability over there. It's so okay, save it, done. Okay, so this Altoro Mutual and one web both do not have this particular vulnerability, the iframe vulnerability. I can show you that how exactly I have identified, and you can identify it. Okay, so these are the testing websites which we can simply test for. Okay, one is that. Okay, so as you can see that this is creating a frame over there. Okay, so between this, if Altoro Mutual or these testing websites, which is this one, Acunetics test website. I hope you guys already know that on this website, on this testing website, we already work, right? So these both the testing websites, security testing websites, have no vulnerability related to the iframe. That is why we are unable to capture it. Okay. Otherwise, if they have the vulnerability, you can simply see the particular website over there. Okay. I know one website who has this particular vulnerability of iframe, but that is a public website. I cannot show up here. But that website has the vulnerability of iframe. So I was able to see up here, and I can simply mark it the dimensions for this website, and I can use this. Now I will tell that once you have identified, okay, so this is the exact query which you can use, okay, on any of the website URL. Okay, then you will identify that whether they have the iframe vulnerability or not. After that, I will tell you that what is the use of this, how the attacker or a black hat hacker, I can must say, right? So how they can make advantage of this. That is very much simple. It is. I will tell you the functionality. Suppose this is an attacker, again a diagram. Okay, then this is the website, whatever the website it is, XYZ. Okay, okay. Then this website has a cross frame vulnerability. Okay, then I am writing the iframe code and writing this particular URL, this site's URL between this iframe and saving on the same HTML, okay, dot HTML, right, and the save file. Okay, once it will create a dot HTML folder within your PC, and this will also cause a HTML. Once you will double click on it, this will open a page. Okay, if this sites have a vulnerability of them. Okay, now once you have gained the access of this, you know that iframe is there. Then what you can do is, or what attacker can do is, you can simply mark this website clear name. There is a bitlay. Okay, you can go over a bitlay and you can get the short URL. Once you are sending that link to someone to fish them, okay, and you will set the dimensions as well. You are sending this page to one of the users of an organization, so that user will identify, okay, so this is looking exactly same like my organization website, but you have changed few of the parts as per the logins. Okay, now this is your website. You are not sending a legitimate. This is your website. Okay, which you have copy pasted. Now this will click and this will simply write the details as per your JavaScript which you have written in the backend. Okay, so you have to get the idea about it. Once they are presenting the data, okay, username, password, you will get all the data towards, oh sorry, you are here. So you will already get all the details what this particular user is getting. So this is how iframe or cross frame vulnerability works. Okay, and this is how you can take the advantage. Now quickly I will share one more thing with you guys. Okay, this is one more thing I must say, which is a directory traversal vulnerability. Okay, this will take only 2 minutes. Okay, I'm going over here, clicking this. Okay, so if you have any doubt in this iframe, please write and I will answer all of this. So once more, this is a web. Okay, now I would like to tell you the directory traversal, how we can do it. You can simply mark, okay, so I can say that index.php, if there is any, no, nothing. With the txt file, if we have, no, any, right? If we have any other .txt files, no, just like, okay. But this website has a .txt. How we will identify it? But which type of txt file they have? Clicking on it, view page source. These are the actual things which we are doing, right? Going down, yeah, okay, here. So this website has one txt file, okay, which you can see the details over there, which they have pasted what type of vulnerabilities they have on this particular website. If you run the scan, so you will find all these vulnerabilities. So they have all the ideas, exactly the ideas where you can attack and where you can get the which type of vulnerabilities over there. But this is just an example I will give you, that this is a directory. This has the directory inside downloads. You are going into the downloads, then you need to go into the vulnerabilities.txt. You will find this file. Once you will open, so this will open in here, but in the backend server, this file is present on this directories. So that is called directory traversal vulnerability. This is how we are exactly doing the directory bug bounty hunting or web application testing, please let me know. I will give it a like and we will surely talk about it. Then thank you all for joining this session. We'll meet you tomorrow.